Morning everybody, it is the 6th of September and it is 10 to 9 AM local time to me. It's that time of the week again to go over the markets. Got a couple of trades open which I'll go over in this video obviously. So let's get to it. So as always, we're on EURGBP at first. And as you can see, we've had some strong bullish movement from the euro recently, as we went over last week. But as you can see, we've hit this area of supply here, and obviously we've started to drop back down again. The pound is looking like it's gaining some strength so far this week, so we could see a pushback in EURGBP. So if you were looking to trade this, I'd look for something like that. I mean, we've got a couple of imbalances here. Clone that, and we've got an imbalance there that we could possibly fill. So yeah, so that one would look like a nice one to buy in from, especially with the with that level that was obviously resistance previously, which we broke through quite easily, to be fair. So it might not be as strong, but nevertheless it would be a level that you could buy at. So yeah, we haven't traded this one for a while. We did miss this buy from way down here previously, but if you wanted to trade EURGBP, that's what I'd be looking to buy on. Yeah, unfortunately I haven't been looking at this pair too much as of late, so that would be my that would be my call out for you. We've got the moving average pointing upwards now, so once price comes back down and meets it, we could get multiple confluences to go long on that pair, but it's a bit of a waiting game for now. So with that covered, we'll move on to GBPJPY. Now, as you can see from this pair, we've just been moving sideways. Look at the moving average, is just flat. Same again last week, same again this week. Today's candle does look like it's starting to push up north, and we might get a breakout. But it's possible we could just visit this little area of supply here, and then price could drop back down again. So I would be willing to sell if price reaches this supply area at the top here. So get looking out for that on GJ. Once we get into the area of 163, start looking for resistance on a lower time frame like the 4-hour chart, and then you can get a nice selling on GJ once it shows like a doji or a hammer candle or something like that in the supply zone on a lower time frame like the 4-hour to get a nice little entry on. So that's what we're looking for on GJ. Again, we're looking to buy long term from a lower demand zone, and possibly that one. We're looking to go up, and possibly that one. The pound's been quite weak of late, so I like a little further drop back first to this demand zone at least, or if not a further one below, possibly this one here that might be in reach before we see another push up north. But yeah, just been going sideways, and it's still been doing that this week so far, but today it looks like it's pushing up, so we might get a breakout and then reach this supply zone for a possible sell, unless it breaks up, and then we'll have to reanalyze the chart and see where we could buy in possibly, or maybe we could get a sell from this top supply zone here, depending on price action. So yeah, so short term we're looking for a sell from this supply zone on GJ. Long term we're looking for a buy to continue in this big bullish trend that we've been in for quite some time now. Unless the trend changes and we start breaking lower, we can get some longer term sells in. So yeah, so with that covered, we will move to EURAUD, and this would have been a lovely sell here. Could have had your stop loss here. I did post out a chart, I think it was last week, with EURAUD. We could continue selling in this bearish trend that we've had. We broke that demand zone. We've had a pullback in price to the supply zone. I didn't catch this trade unfortunately because I've been looking at other pairs like GU, gold, Bitcoin and stuff like that. But I did send it out. I think it was this supply zone here. It just pushed right through, and then we met this strong one here. So obviously with that rejection candle there, that would have been a nice daily candle to buy in on from last week, and then obviously we could possibly see a drop down in price to this demand zone area at the bottom here, with a continuation of the bearish trend that it's been in for quite some time. I guess it's all dependent on what's going to happen with the euro though, but it is looking weak overall. So yeah, just looking for trend continuation here on that pair. If you follow me and you had it marked out and you caught it, well done, keep it going for now. I'll update again during the week, possibly on next week's video, but you should be well in profit by now. Your stop loss will be above that, so you're not far off 1-to-1 there. So just continue to hold that if you did catch it, and then I'll update again for you during the week or next week on that pair. So with that one covered, we'll move to GBPUSD, and I went long this morning on the candle open. Send that to the back so we can see. Send that to the back. So as you can see, we had a big push down in price, and we've met this demand zone from 2020. Yeah. So as you can see, yesterday we finished with a hammer candle, bullish hammer candle. So for me, that's a sign to go, especially in this demand zone. We've rejected up, and it's finished as a bullish candle. So I entered the trade. I've got my stop loss just underneath that wick. I used a smaller position this time, so obviously we're looking for a swing trade. I did post a chart out on all my social media profiles. So yeah, we're looking for the long swing on GU. Hopefully it's not just a pullback and then we continue to break lower. But as for now, we're slightly in profits, and we can continue to hold this now. Unless we start breaking lower. But again, just like all trades, once we go into some profits, at least 1-to-1, 2-to-1, then we can move our stop loss to break even, so we don't lose anything if the trend does continue. I'll be very surprised if we do break this level, because if we do, we're going into deep waters. As you can see, this demand zone at the bottom here was made from 1985, so you know we haven't seen these prices for a long time. So you know, what are we told? Buy low and sell high. Well, prices fucking, pardon my French, prices is really low at the moment, so now's the time to buy, right? That's what they say, so that's what we do. People like to wait for confirmation. I don't. I like to pick out these reversals from the demand zone, so it's just the way it happens. We don't have to do anything. You know, there's a million ways to trade. This is how I do it. If we do catch it, we're golden. If you do lose one, that's fine. When you do catch that one, it'll more than make up for the small loss that you had, depending if you did lose, because most of the time we get into profit and we run risk-free anyway, so you know it's not an issue. So yeah, at the moment we're slightly in profit, probably about 60 pips. You know, nothing to write home about. But we're moving in the right direction, so we can just keep watch over the next week or two before we start moving our stop loss to break even. Yeah, so I hope you caught that one. We had it marked out for a while now, and obviously I sent the chart out, so I'm hoping people caught this one, and then we can enjoy a nice big move together, hopefully, depending on what price action does. So with that pair covered, we'll move to EURUSD, and it's pretty similar to GU, although we haven't reached down into the demand zone. So I haven't taken a trade on this pair yet. I'm going to say it's the same as GU. I'm going to wait until it reaches this demand zone here. So for me, there's not a trade for me here just yet. We could even hit this supply zone before we move back down into the demand zone. Yeah, we'll wait and see on EU. I'd like to break it down a bit further and reach this demand zone before we get the buy on. Yeah, so obviously with the other pairs that I've got trades on, I'm not going to take a buy on this one just yet. Yeah, I'd want to see it break lower before we take a buy. Yeah, so I'm not going to give out much on this pair today. We'll cover it again next week if I take a trade, if it breaks lower, but all depending, we'll see. We might even tag along later if it does break up and we do start trading above the moving average, and then we can tag along and buy at a demand zone further up. So yeah, so with that covered, we'll move to gold, and it's a trade that I'm in. I did send the chart out of this last week about gold, about buying from this demand zone. Classic double bottom, sent the chart out. It's quite ironic, isn't it, that that level there where price closed and where it opened again, and we started to get some bullish price action. You know, it's not by chance. You know, these are pretty easy moves to pick. You know what I mean? You just mark out the support level of where it turned last time. Price went up, come down, and lo and behold, right on that point, you know, within a pip, it's closed again. It started to move below, but it rejected and closed right on the same zone. So these are simple signs to see and to catch. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you're trading on the daily, because you only need to check the candle once a day. So to see that, it should be pretty easy for you. So I'll just go to where I entered. So price broke below, and then we rejected, and then once we got this 3-4 hour bullish candles, that's where I entered on the close of that bullish candle there, and I've got my stop loss just above, below the wick of the previous rejection candle. So you know, it's pretty simple. There's loads of time you know to take the trade, and that's where I took mine once we seen this these 3 bullish candles after that rejection. That was my entry point on that candle close and open there, and then we've since gone into profit, which is currently 213 pips. So we've already reached 1-to-1, so it's going well so far. But again, we're going to hold, because obviously we're looking for that big move right up to the top, hopefully. Yeah. So hopefully you caught that one. I did send this out last week and during the week with the chart. Should be fairly easy trades to take these. If you watch the channel, obviously you know what I'm looking for in these areas, so it should be fairly easy for you to take. So yeah, gold in profit. Hopefully we can start breaking up and above the moving average and start trading up towards these supply zones at the top here. But as for now, we'll just keep holding and watching this week and see how it pans out. So with that pair covered, we will move to Bitcoin, and this is another pair that I've taken a long on. I took it at this candle here over the weekend. Yeah, this is just I took a very small position on this one again, like GU, as they were looking for a long swing up. 1%. Usually I do 2% trades if I'm really confident. If I'm not so sure, 0.5%, but this one I took a 1% risk under this wick here. But that's where I entered. I took a 1% for my stop loss under this previous low wick here. So again, we're looking for a long swing up, as always, with Bitcoin, because we're buying low. I can remove that horizontal line now because that's where the stop loss was last time. And again, yeah, we're just looking to hold. And obviously we've seen some bullish moves now on GU, gold and Bitcoin, obviously, because today's daily candle is looking pretty bullish. So we'll go over the reason why on DXY in a minute. But I just want to go over again, like last time, Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, the price action. It does seem to be a lot different now. It might be the case that it takes over. You know, obviously it's just a theory. Some people think so, some people don't. So yeah, so if you follow the Bitcoin chart and buying in around this area, you know, it's all within a few pips of each other. It's not a bad time to buy right on this demand zone, and then hopefully we'll get the turn up in price. So with that covered, we'll go to Ethereum. As I was saying last time, we can look at price action. It's a lot more positive than Bitcoin. The pullback in price from the high that we made in August was not as severe as Bitcoin. Bitcoin came right down to around this area of the previous bearish move, but as you can see, the price action from Ethereum is a lot more positive. Today's candle is already well ahead than Bitcoin. If we break this lower high, then it looks like we could start pushing up. Once we start, if we broke above this high of August again, then I think we're on. I think we're back on for a bit of a bullish medium term push at least. So we'll mark this. Resistance here from the previous high that it made in August. Was that? Yeah, 16th of August, 14th of August. And if we break above that, I think we're on. We're playing ball. Yeah, so one to watch on Ethereum. As again, I'm watching this purely because I bought it to hold in my wallet. As you can see here, I bought in at £777. And I've been in profit ever since. As you can see, it's just moved all the way up. It's pulled back in price. Never worried because I've always been in profit, and now we're starting to move back up again. As you can see, today's candle is pushed above the moving average, so that supply zone can be removed now because it was broken. And that candle there. Yeah, so we're looking to break above this supply zone here, and then we can continue and hopefully make some nice profits. As well with the pushes on GU, gold and Bitcoin and stuff, we'll go over DXY and what I was having a look at. So as you can see, so if we move out to the monthly time frame, so we go to the monthly, so as you can see here, there was a big monthly supply zone created, and that's where we got that push right down. Okay, that was back in 2002 on that monthly supply zone created. Went all the way down, and as you can see currently we've had a few pushes up, and then most recently we've had a push right back up into that supply zone. Okay, so we'll move down to the weekly, and as you can see, the weekly candle did not close above the supply zone. We closed inside it. The current weekly candle, we pushed above it, but now we're getting a big rejection. So we'll move back down to the daily, and as you can see, we got that big push up, and then we've had a hammer candle bearish, and then a massive upside down hammer rejection outside of that supply zone, and today's candle is pushing bearish currently. So I'd say that was a little sign of a reversal on the daily. Now, depending if it keeps going or not, is when we might see a downturn in the dollar, but it's totally dependent on what happens this week. If we get a weekly close above this zone, then I think we're going to continue going higher on the dollar. So I think this week is a big week. Obviously, it'll be big for our gold trade. It'll be big for the GU trade. It'll be big for the Bitcoin trade. So it's a big week to watch out on the dollar this week and next week. So to see how the weekly candles finish. So currently we're getting a big rejection candle on the weekly. If it continues this week to move the same direction, then we might get at least a short to medium term bearish downturn on the dollar, which will be good for our trade. So one to watch out overall, and then if it does start pushing back up and breaking the supply zone, then we can close our longs, because we might be looking to go lower. So as you can see, it's all lining up right at these big demand zones and supply zones for the dollar. So definitely ones to watch out for, the trades that you're in, if you followed along with me. So that's pretty much it for this week, everyone. A couple of trades activated that we're in and that we can keep watch on. Hopefully you followed and you're tagging along with me on these. So it'd be good to interact with everyone. Let me know how you're getting on. And yeah, I'll see you again next week. Cheers, everyone. Take care.